Hi, this is Logan Street with DealerSocket. Today we're going to walk through the manager portion of setting up a new user, setting up that new user's notifications, as well as helping that new user download the mobile CRM app, as well as the Microsoft Authenticator app. First thing we're going to do is we're going to come to the left side of the screen here to the admin menu, which is this gear icon here on the left-hand side. And then we're going to come up here under popular to dealership users. It should be noted that dealership users is also found under dealership setup. Once I'm inside of dealership users, there's two different ways I can create a user. Now, if we're creating a user for someone that is already working at the dealership, let me rephrase that. If we're creating a user for someone that is already on a team that is currently active in the CRM at the dealership, the best way to do that is to find that user first. So I'm going to go ahead and, let's say we're adding a salesperson. I'm just going to go ahead and click the salesperson team. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is click on one of these individuals. And then I'm going to come up here to the upper right-hand side of the screen and hit clone. Before I hit clone, though, I'm going to touch on a couple items here. Anytime a salesperson comes up to you and says, "Hey, I can't remember my password for DealerSocket," if you follow the same click path that I went through, pull their user up, and then click on resend account, or sorry, this actually would say reset or resend or send password reset. That would be listed there. And then with the addition of the multi-factor authentication or MFA, you can reset their MFA through here as well, and that will restart that process when they log in the next time to have them scan the MFA and go through that. Coming back to our purpose on this call, we're going to add a new user. What we've done is we've selected an existing user that's going to be on the same team that our new user will be on. The first thing I'm going to do is come up and hit clone. And what that does is it takes a lot of the information in terms of the team, the reply address, the preferred phone, if we're using the dealership phone number as the preferred phone, and then a manager, everything like that's going to carry over. If I come down and I hit show details, you'll notice that my permission to text is turned on. Everything's good. The difference here between starting a new user and doing it this way is if you know that the user that you're copying has all the permissions and can do everything that you need that user's team to do, there shouldn't be a problem with this user when you're setting them up. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is go test user or whatever we're going to call this salesperson. And then we're going to come and specify the franchise if you have more than one franchise. If not, we'll just leave it there. Manager, this is going to be their direct manager. So as you know, in the CRM, by default, depending on how your store's set up, there may be tasks that are generated or there may be emails that go out on behalf of that individual's manager. This is where that is pulling from. So if we ever lose a manager, we want to make sure that we go through and update the manager for all of the users that manager was assigned to. But we want to make sure that the manager for this individual is someone that works at the dealership and obviously they report to. Team, like I said, if we're already on the same team, that's going to be fine. We can leave that alone if we're cloning a user. That being said, just remember all of our permissions for the most part are team-based. So as long as this individual is on the same team as somebody that is already in the CRM, they should have the same permissions, with the exception of a couple, and we'll dive into that here in just a second. DMS employee ID. This is their DMS employee number. This is what ties that salesperson to any sold deals coming back from the DMS to that individual. So if you ever see an instance where you're seeing a lot of sold deals that were sold by salespeople that are assigned to the year friends at or someone else, that would be why. Okay. Job title. Again, this is similar to the manager. This is what's going to populate on the code snippet for job title on any automated emails that we've got set up. Preferred phone. This is, up to the dealership. We can list the dealership's phone number there, or you can list the salesperson's direct line there. Again, this is going to tie to the salesperson's phone code snippet. And then account email, this is super crucial. This is the email that their setup is going to go to as far as their account, their setup for um, their basically how they log into DealerSocket. So you may have an email already set up, internally for that user. In a hunch though, if you needed to use their personal email address, you can use that here. Um, and then update that later. The whole reason we want this is to be able to verify that that person is who they are and that that's where their account information is going to be sent. Okay. Coming over, we have our reply email right here. This is super crucial because this is the reply email that's going to show on their user when they go or when they're sending emails from the CRM. We want to ensure that whatever email we're using is the email that's is one of the emails that's available in this dropdown right here. I am on a test site right now, so it only shows the one web leads account, which is the only account we have set up. Preferably, we would want to use the rep reply option when possible right here. Okay. Mobile phone, this used to be important. It's really not important anymore just because we utilize the preferred phone more than anything. You can put their mobile phone in there, but it's not required to save. Okay. If I hit show details right here, account email will populate as personal email down here. We don't necessarily need to worry about the fax. If you are utilizing any sort of call tracking, third-party call tracking, you'll be able to specify the inbound and outbound IDs right there. Web lead service alerts, if you're set up to where leads come in directly to salespeople, you can come in here and set either their email address right here, or you can specify their phone number and what provider they have right here as well. Okay. DealerSocket Connect, don't worry about that. If you are utilizing click to call with a third party, the primary phone number will be this preferred phone. The secondary phone numbers will be click to call alternative 1 and click to call alternative 2. A couple permissions down here that we want to make sure we have turned on or that we look at. If you do round robining by schedule and this person is going to be receiving leads in that schedule, you do need to check the box for include people scheduling. The other thing that I see constantly missed is this checkbox for permission to text. A salesperson or a user cannot text without this checked. The other option that I see kind of go overused or not used is this dealer instant message. This gives this individual the ability to message users within the dealership using Socket Talk. These other permissions over here for a salesperson, don't worry about them. Again, this was a lot, but in reality, we just need to make sure that they can text, they can send message. If they're included in scheduling, that's there. If they have if they're going to be receiving web leads, that's set up, and then this information set up here. Once that's set, go ahead and hit save and exit. As soon as that is sent, or as soon as that save and exit happens, the account, whatever account email we have in here, will receive their initial setup, and I'll show you what that setup looks like here in just a second. Again, just so I can show you, the other way to set up a user would be to come up here in the upper right-hand corner and hit new. And keep in mind, you're going to have to put everything in here. Whereas if you have a user that's already set up right, it should all just carry over. Okay. So the next thing that we want to do is look at, we want to help the salesperson set up their mobile app and Authenticator. So I'm going to show you how to do this on iOS. The steps are similar with Google. The only difference is instead of using the App Store, you're going to go to the Google Play Store. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Just a moment. Okay. So inside the App Store, you're going to go down to the lower right-hand side of the screen and you're going to hit search. And we're going to look for CRM by DealerSocket. Okay. The app we're looking for is this app right here. I already have it downloaded on this phone. But so I can just hit open and it'll open that app. But if you don't have it downloaded, you'll just hit get where that open sign is. Again, that's right here. and you'll be able to download that app. Now, as far as authenticators go, we recommend using Microsoft Authenticator. And this can be a little confusing because at the top we see this Authenticator app. If I remember correctly, that Authenticator app works for like a week and then it tries to charge you. But if you scroll down, you'll see Microsoft Authenticator. Microsoft Authenticator is nice because you don't necessarily even have to have a Microsoft account to make it work. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to download this. As you can see, I've already downloaded it in the past because it's already on the cloud, but I'm going to go ahead and download this. And we want to make sure that the salesperson has those two items on their, like I said, on their device. Okay, that covers. Actually, you know what? We need to go back. We need to set up the salesperson's notifications. So the next thing that we're going to do is come back to the admin menu. So hit that gear icon on the left-hand side of the screen. We're going to go to dealership setup, notification center, and then I'm going to come down and I'm going to use Logan Test here as our dealership user. And then I'm going to toggle on the notifications that I want this individual to be alerted by. Now they'll have the ability to come in and do this themselves, but in the instance that they forget, this will already be set up for them. So depending on your dealership, you can come down and set these up how you would prefer to set them up. I'm just going to go ahead and set up some of the basic ones that I typically see, like new email received, reassigned customer, new web lead, reassigned web lead, and then I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and save that, and that covers up the manager portion of adding a new user.